Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to the Lord of the Rings adventure card game. So, in the last quest, you had this pit of Nibin Doom, or however you pronounce that, which was a shorter experience, even with me yammering on, uh, because it had this maze effect where it seemed like if you messed up, you'd get sent back to the beginning of the maze, which feels like you would just immediately lose and give up at that point. I don't see how you could wrap around and play one or two more sections without running too close to having your threat meter full to 50 and then just immediately losing. Now we're doing the Tower of the Necromancer. Everything is pretty much exactly the same. You still get 1,000 fellowship points for the first completion and some locked reward that you don't really know. You still have the same old decks, and even though I did try to build a deck, it failed miserably, and I'm not going to try and play it again. So, even if I was going to try and grind out all the fellowship points and all the rewards, I would have to just copy the original 4 decks here and change the heroes to get more rewards that way, without actually changing any of the cards. I could probably, with a lot of wasted time, find one card that is slightly better than another card and replace that in these starter decks, but that's pretty much it. And you can pretty well tell that this game was abandoned fairly early, in that this Shadow's Reach deck here is the only real deck that was added after the initial launch, pretty obviously, since it has a different card back. Whereas any other card game that was going to be a living game that got updates and more content would have almost certainly given you more decks to build, or pre-built decks. Let's just go through this.
Snig squirms with worry. The goblin knows the master's moods, and his mood is dark indeed. It is always Snig who pays the price at such times. In this case, it was Snig's duty to report that the pit at Nibin Doom was discovered and Ulfthak failed to deliver the latest supply of subjects. The mouth of Dol Guldur turns towards Snig. The goblin recoils as their eyes meet, the flames in his master's eyes flaring. Then, cooling to a malevolent stare, Snig senses that he had hovered very near death, or worse. Only his master's immense self-control has spared him. The mouth speaks. His words are breathy frost that matches his icy tone.
Double the patrols around the tower,
He rasps.
If they found the pit, they may come here next.
Then the mouth smiles.
And if they do, perhaps we will yet give my master what he wants.
The mouth's eyes flare again, this time with a pleasure that Snig finds somehow even more terrifying.
So you have this weirdness once again with the Lord of the Rings stories, which I assume I just have to attribute all these paragraphs to direct quotes and clips from either the Hobbit book or the Lord of the Rings books, or book, whatever it is. But you have this weirdness that you have yet another character. You would have thought that, from my surface level understanding, the Golem would have been the big name as far as monstrous looking creatures, and that you wouldn't need yet another goblin like creature called Snig to show up. Although I guess in totality that is the Lord of the Rings in a nutshell, is that there is probably 100 characters mentioned of real note, when ideally you would want to optimize it to a much smaller group. It would be an interesting experiment to think how many important characters there are, and how you define important would be an interesting definition in the first place, but how many important characters are in the Song of Ice and Fire books, which in comparison are almost certainly a lot more books than The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And yet, almost certainly, there's 2 to 3 times, if not more, named characters of some importance in the Lord of the Rings stories. Science has made the claim, certainly, that humans can only really keep 100 relationships fresh in their mind, 100 people fresh in their mind. So, if you're spending 30 of those 100 slots thinking of fictional characters in one book, that's quite a commitment.
You have journeyed several days to the south. Having skirted the edge of the East Bight through the Narrows, you venture on towards the Hill of Sorcery, the tower at Dol Guldur. You made good time, encountering nothing but the occasional raven, fox, or deer. As you draw ever nearer the tower, the woods grow thicker, and a darkness settles over both the trees and your mood. If orcs hold this place once more, there will be patrols ahead. You must find your way past them if possible, through them if needs be. Radagast told you of secret ways into the tower, but you must examine its surroundings carefully to find them. This will not be easy if the enemy occupies the tower walls. You move ahead with your companions, maintaining a stealthy approach so as to escape notice, knowing full well this is unlikely you will make it to the tower without being seen. Still, you are resolved to try.
I have to say, I really do not enjoy just sitting here in silence for 2 minutes, as someone else talks. It is incredibly inconsistent with what a cutscene would be in any other video game. In any other video game, even if it was poorly animated, you'd have some kind of character speaking and talking. Even if you're talking like a visual novel with voice acting, you would have some character on screen to represent that, and you would almost certainly have the dialogue bouncing back and forth between a couple of characters instead of just this very descriptive text. There's no real interactions or conversations happening. We've also swapped over again, where we're starting with the bad guys paragraph and now ending with the good guys paragraph. And Radagast seems to have completely left the story, when it feels like, as a wizard, he should be playing a much bigger role.
Elendil!
A gift I will give you.
My axe is restless in my hand.
And see, you have this problem with the interface. Like, the story should be there, but it definitely could be improved. The interface, it gives you these real problems in which you can't really read things and check things out as it's loading, and I'd like to move a little bit faster than all that. So we're supposed to defeat 3 waves of patrol. We have this location specific thing that ends with ignore end effects. This one gives +1 threat if wounded. So it's fairly obviously a case that you want to kill whatever is wounded. It shouldn't be too hard to do. Okay. So kill that one. You kill that one. You're making progress towards killing a bunch of goblins. However, on the achievements side, we have 13 of 73, and I really just don't feel like we're going to see that much.
You breathe so loud, shoot you in the dark.
Filthy little vermin.
This dungeon keeper has a orc. 3 waves of patrols. Does that mean 3 turns? Because I don't know if this character really is supposed to be part of the patrol, or if this character is supposed to be part of the patrol, or what. So yeah, I could still have a wave of patrol here. And heal this character first. Put that in defense mode to start with. Put that in defense mode next. Guess put that in defense mode. Increase this guy's attack.
Hey, I command.
Restore 2 health to any character. And this guy has an end effect, so we'll kill that.
Maggots, you're cooked.
Okay, so that was 1 wave. And that didn't, it really does just show you have these extra characters too. At the end, this does damage to 1 random character, so we just want to kill that fairly quickly. Store 1 health to yourself, I guess, and just try and keep this all balanced. We have a surge character we can play.
Shall be preserved.
And we effectively kind of know what we're doing, but I guess you want to still just play safe and secure. Kill that one, I guess. Kill that one, I guess. Weirdly, I can destroy this, so I think it makes some sense to do that. And then we have a whole nother patrol and whatever he wants to throw at us each turn. to deal with after that. Block on this character. Exhaust the next enemy that enters play.
Kill him.
That worked out pretty well. Just gonna hit that. And then hit that. These guys have counter, and they summon one East Blight patrol, so I don't know if they're part of people we need to defeat or not. Okay. Guess we'll put that in defense mode. And then we'll attack here.
No man.
That sucked. We'll spin this here.
He cannot stand alone.
So that's only one character down. So now he's going to summon another patrol character, which maybe I need to get rid of that character, maybe I don't.
Farewell.
Feel like you probably are fine to just kill that like that and go another turn. Charge up by that character. Spooked horses. Gives +2 resources to each hero if I defeat it. I think the move here is to do sneak attack.
I bring news from Rivendell.
Apply to progress. It's not really what I expected to have happen there. There's, I guess, just not enough resources here. We'll see if doing this can let me use this power to do this. And we'll go ahead and put this power here. Do 1 damage per player to every enemy is not necessary. Let's just travel.
The mouth of Dol Guldur bows deeply.
I await your will, my master.
The pale, emaciated creature being addressed sits upon a low stone chair at the end of the great gallery, lost in his own thoughts. Despite a frail appearance, the thing that was once man radiates immense power. Power in which the mouth of Dol Guldur revels and from which he draws strength. In turn, the thing sometimes called the Black Easterling draws his own power from the one true master in the south. When he speaks, he does so with the master's will. The creature's lips, which have the impossibly dry look of a corpse, part as he speaks in a harsh, low whisper that carries throughout the large chamber.
experiments have been successful, but they are now at an end.
He declares.
Prepare space for one last batch for those that approach our walls.
The mouse of Dol Guldur nods, spreading his hands in acquiescence to his lord's will. If the so-called heroes do reach Dol Guldur, they will simply join its ranks.
So obviously there's some necromancy going on here where he's killing or brainwashing people and resurrecting them if he's killing them with necromancy to fight on his side. But you do have this weirdness in the writing that they talk about this master, and I don't even think the master is Sauron, and that we're working our way up to a very slow reveal of Sauron. Then you have this weirdness in that there are multiple levels of generals that seem to be a lot of times controlled magically, like the mouth of Dol Guldur. Although maybe the mouth actually has some independent thought.
You stand in the shadow of Armonlank, the hill upon which rests the fortress tower of Dol Guldur. You've managed to approach this far undetected. It's clear that the tower is inhabited once more. You spy goblins here and there amongst the ancient stone walls, and strange lights flicker in the windows. The tower looks imposing and decrepit all at once. Lines of decay mark the strong stone walls, and cracks large and small mar the otherwise finely crafted surface. Recalling Radagast's advice, you begin to circle the hill, looking for the best way in. After all, you can't simply march up to the front gate and demand entrance. A short time later, you spy some promising options, but must examine them more closely. Quietly and oh so carefully, you make your way up the hill.
It seems to me like if there was a point that this tower was run by an evil wizard, you would have probably tried to burn it to the ground after you emptied it from the wizard. For it to be once again still standing and once again infected with evil is weird. There is something about the Lord of the Rings universe that gives me the feeling that every tower has some special element to it. Like if you told me at some point in the book it says that every tower is an intersection point of ley lines, or it brings them closer to the sky, which gives them more power, I'd totally believe that. Even if you weren't going to burn down the tower, though, you would not typically release it to just decay. You would probably want to keep it and use it as at least a vantage point to look out for other enemies. The Lord of the Rings story does come off very much like one of those stories where things are just said to be that way just because they are that way, and there's not really enough of a logical explanation as to why it would be that way. It would make a lot more sense if the tower was constantly being taken and fought over, or that there was some peace treaties, they left it alone for a while. To access the tower, defeat 6 enemy units or defeat every enemy in play. Let's see. It might be worth playing here. You could deal 1 damage right now to every enemy player. Might not be the worst idea. Summon 2 random orc units. Upkeep is low. I can't remember if doing this will... yeah, I can't remember if doing that would count as a move or not. Let's see. Do we have anything that's particularly worth weakening? Block and counter. Yeah, if we killed that in this turn. I think first turn though we just go into defense mode. I think that probably makes the most sense. Now this one just has plus attack, so wouldn't really be that beneficial to put it in guard mode. Better to do that. Then we can do that. Not in the best position here, but definitely seems like we'll just win. Let's see. Spend one resource here. And kill this guy. Can't. Because he has guard on, doesn't he? And you can't skip, you can only in phase. So I don't even know what I'd really do here to like protect this character from dying. I can heal him once and that's about all I can do. I can to access the tower, defeat 2 enemy units or defeat every enemy in play, or slip through the window this round only. So I would have potentially needed to have just stored up some more points. That's how that was gonna go. Alright. Let's see. Is there anything we can do here? Okay. Defeat 2 enemies. We can defeat 2 enemies easily without even fighting this guy, so we should just do that.
Soon your land will lie in shadow.
I serve no man.
Just travel without doing any more actions. We're in a bad position though. Really bad position.
Leads up a black winding passage.
And we have one more fight.
And just as you feel you couldn't take another moment in this confined space, you notice a sliver of light ahead. Scrambling forward, you find yourself in a hallway next to an armory. You squint through the crack between the door and jamb to see nearly an entire company of goblins and orcs donning armor from neatly stacked piles and plucking blades from racks along the wall.
Intruders!
One of the creatures shouts, having spotted you peering in. The armory erupts as the guards mobilize against you. If you move quickly, you can close and bar the door to trap them within. Having come to the same realization, the orcs rush to push against you from the other side. As a contest of strength begins, more goblins answer the alarm from the hall behind you. While a few of your party brace against the armory door, the rest turn to repel this fresh assault.
Yeah, I just don't see how I'm gonna win here. Close the door before you're overwhelmed. Okay, that seems to be the main thing. There's that we have to do 12 attack. And I just don't see how we do it. That arrival dealing 1 damage. If we raid the arsenal, we could get +1 attack and +1 health, which we could really use that. I think your best bet though is to do this and then put this in defense mode to just try and prevent things from attacking. I guess then you kill that.
Kill him quick! Kill him now!
You have to put this in defense mode. That's the only thing you can possibly do. We'll raid the arsenal, I guess. And do that. Then it only makes sense to attack this because we don't have any power anyways. Oh my goodness, no, that did not work well. Is there any way to survive this? Can't play Gandalf. We can do a sneak attack later. We can try and put things in defense mode. But absolutely nothing is going to save you here. We've got 3 more attacks. Put that in defense mode. Put that in defense mode. Sneak attack. Sneak attack's not really going to do anything for us.
I'm gonna need you.
Fully restore every character. I guess we could try that. Okay. If I had one more resource, maybe that would let me get to this point where we can fully restore every character, which would be way better than doing this. But let's just do this.
This way.
Still not getting anywhere, and if anything, raiding has proven to be a mistake because it just made more room for him to summon more enemies.
My lord never.
It's not like he's gonna run out of cards. So my entire strategy here is mostly just falling apart. Unless I just get really, really lucky.
I serve no one. The eye of the masks.
Plus 5 value per player to Barrack's store. Which once again just makes this unlikely to succeed.
Welcome to Rivendell.
Gonna have to basically hope you can smash into this, but do we have enough even now for that to make sense? Like 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we did every single thing at this turn, and then we hopefully just survive long enough to the next turn with nothing being killed, we could probably win. Which maybe means we could have done this before. So maybe I'm just wasting. Maybe I was just wasting my time those other turns. But this isn't even our final battle, so I don't think it is, at least. One damage to every character, which makes an argument to healing this, because the other two have block. This guy has guard, so at the moment it doesn't make sense to do anything. Okay. So now it's just attack. Attack, 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 and hope we can flee before everybody's dead. Apparently now I need to defeat 4 orc units. I was not expecting that, certainly. Is this considered an orc unit? No. We're totally out of cards at this point, too. And that's something to take note of. Alright.
He cannot stand alone.
Passes unnoticed.
I'll put an arrow in your guts.
He cannot stand alone.
This is technically an orc unit, too, so I could kill that easier.
Let's have fun.
Defeat each hero that is under half of its maximum. Well, I think I just lost.
Is in my hands.
Let's try that again before we just think we're gonna have to start all over again.
If by life or death I can save you, I will.
A gift I will give you.
I shall claim full amends for every fall and stopped too.
So we immediately have the same situation, though. So you don't want to take any of those at all. And I guess mostly what I want to do is put as many people with power on the field. Block so this guy has to hit that guy. Okay. So then it's just hit that.
Kill quick. Kill him now.
Hit that. Hit that.
Stand alone.
Use the power. Hit it again.
No man.
You breathe so loud I can shoot you in the dark.
I don't think that even did anything. This has block, yeah. I should be able to figure that out. Should have probably put that in defense mode. Okay. Put that in defense mode. Put this on the field and I guess put it on defense mode. Okay. So then we attack with that one. Of course we lose the second we get to 45 as far as the threat, so as a consideration. Okay. We're not in a bad position, though.
He cannot stand alone.
Because we could potentially just win this next turn. We'd have to get a little lucky. I don't think we have to get that lucky. We can almost pick and choose just who we would want to kill. Okay. Sneak attack.
Those with the power are good.
I think that worked somewhat well.
I depart for the west.
Put that in defense mode. Guess it's probably safest to put that in defense mode. Looking for orc units here. To kill.
For Rivendell!
Okay. So it'd make the most sense now to probably just put this in defense mode for the next turn. Because we can't kill this because he has a block. I could have killed him, I guess, if I had one more resource. Okay. Let's just attack this guy.
No man.
Complete the goal for the location, avoid the looming threat. Yeah, attack the guy. Let that guy die. Move on to the next area. But we are very, very close to have lost again.
Utmost stealth through a jumble of halls and chambers, stopping in the shadows.
I
here
just
and
don't
there
see
to let
how
the
I win
occasional
this
guard
next
pass by.
encounter.
A sense of doom is ever present in these darkened halls, as if the very walls are pressing down to crush your will. Strange muffled sounds echo in the distance. You feel drawn toward them, toward the center of the tower. You blunder into a large chamber so dark that you cannot see past your small party. This room bears the unmistakable mark of evil. You shiver from head to toe, overcome by a sudden chill. Then a flash alights the chamber with painful brilliance. You find yourself in a grand gallery, at the end of which stands an imposing figure in dark, tattered robes. You tremble in terror before the wraith. And he's not alone. Scores of creatures, including what appear to be some sort of spirits or shades themselves, howl in triumph as the trap is sprung.
So unless our next challenge is just to die, seems like we're doomed. Place of Great Evil is the same here. So literally like one turn and we're done. Survive the assault of the Wrath's minions for 4 rounds. This one has a base attack of 9, this one has a base attack of 11, this one has a base attack of 12. Even if I could heal everything, it's just not going to happen. We need this 6 energy, and we need it now. The good news is these actually won't hurt me at all. played this with Bard. Well, I guess I had some resources there. I could have probably played Gandalf. I don't know where those resources came from, though.
How may I serve?
The only thing that saves me, though, is if I can keep this one character alive.
Farewell.
Don't play any tricks.
Recover full every ready character. We could do this next turn. But can we do that before the next turn happens?
The fate of the Mirror is in my hands no longer.
Okay. So we can't do anything. The hope here is that the upkeep would just allow everything to work. And maybe I could even heal this and keep this guy alive. Before he activates his action. So no, before upkeep happens, he's activating his action that kills one character. So now I can restore my one hero. Okay, we could potentially fully refill this character, who has +1 attack and then upkeep to 9. Now is probably not the time to do that. We can reduce the attack of one of these characters with this. I think first and foremost, though, is to just do that. Then we'll do that. Then you kind of can't do anything else, so put it in defense mode, I guess. And then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're dead. There's no way you win here.
I passed into the west.
There's just no way that you're going to be able to beat this.
I am Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Mine is the choice of Luthien.
I shall claim full amends for every fall and stubbed toe.
You need not worry about anything.
I pass into the
There we
west.
just have another lost character.
My lord Denethor,
Just not gonna get through this. Even if you cleared the field multiple times and multiple attacks.
I serve no man.
Maybe I did have enough to do Gandalf. Could Gandalf have killed a 3 health character? Maybe.
He cannot stand alone.
You wish you were dead already.
Farewell.
And then he's just gonna activate this point. And I don't think either one of these characters are gonna have enough health. And so you're just gonna lose again.
Is in my hands.
And this is definitely what I suspected was going to happen. Let's jump in here one more
You
time
move with
and just see something. I definitely suspected
Son of Arathorn.
that potentially one of
Mine is
these
the choice of
steps along
Lúthien.
these quests would
I shall claim full amends for
cause
every
such
fall
a
and
struggle
stumble.
that you would end up having to redo the whole thing. I may have to just actually figure out a different deck or something else. So you get this extra resources. Gandalf. I guess if you play this, and then you play this,
I pass into the
maybe,
west.
just maybe, that could save the day. This might be the first time and the point where we start to realize that the benefit of Gandalf might be very high.
He cannot stand alone. Fly, you fools.
Okay. Self-preservation. Gandalf didn't win the game for us.
The fate of Era is in my hands.
Could I possibly survive for 3 more rounds? When you play a guard character,
The steward of gods.
you put him on guard duty a second time and just sacrifice him. And then we have one card that could reduce that to 0. Kill this turn, or do a bunch of damage. Just keeps throwing things at you though. This would have been a totally different scenario if I had 7 characters on the field, ready to go. Survive for 2 more rounds. An interesting experiment certainly here also is that we have 3 resources, so it might be worth it to play this and see if that gives us 2 more resources since we're out of cards. Normally, that's what you would kind of expect, is that if you can draw and you don't have any cards, then you might get some extra resources, but I bet not, actually. I bet this game is not that complicated. Alright. If I somehow survive this, I'm going to be shocked. Well, we know this is going to attack anyway, so it might as well just be in defense mode.
I'll put an arrow in your guts.
Survive for 1 round. Is there anything we can possibly do to prevent us from taking damage? We could hit this, and that's it. Then maybe I could. Maybe I should have ended the turn. Alright, so this is not going to work. So what we'll have to do, since you are forced to finish one quest before you can do the next, is that I will just have to play this whole scenario off screen, and then once I'm about to win, we'll jump into the next episode so we can see what the quest rewards and all of that is. Not that that's particularly even that interesting. I don't think we're at a point where I absolutely cannot win no matter what, although it does seem like it's going to be tough, and I may have to just pick a different select deck. This really would be about the second time that it's felt like the starter deck is not balanced well enough to be used in each of these scenarios. And this is probably just a taste of what's to come once we get to these really difficult encounters, which probably aren't balanced at all. We very likely are going to just look at the encounters at the end and not actually succeed on all of them, or possibly any of them. Anyways, it's been an hour. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's a link down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.